Hi guys, my name is Robert Kunkel. I'm your nominating chair for this year for Region 10. I'm also with the Tucson chapter. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so just a quick overview of what we'll be covering today. What is nominating? We'll just go over some of the basics and what the requirements are. We'll talk a little bit about the caucus and executive session that will occur at CRC. We're going to go over the annual CRC worksheet, including society level positions, regional level positions, the standing committees and honors and awards, and then just next steps moving forward. Okay, so what the heck is nominating and what does it mean for you this year? So as the delegate or alternate of your chapter, you're acting as the official voice of your chapter this year. Just like you were previously elected to your chapter board of governors or are serving in that role currently, there are elected or appointed positions at the region and society. In case you're unaware, there are 15 total regions in society comprising 197 chapters. So every year, each region hosts a CRC, and at each region CRC, it's the responsibility of the 3 nominating members and all of the region chapter delegates and alternates to basically get in a room and discuss and nominate members for society and regional positions that year and for years in the future. So at our region, there are 14 total chapters. So there will be 14 delegates, 14 alternates, nominating chair, nominating alternate, and nominating reserve alternate in the room, no one else. It's important to note that the alternate has a voice in this meeting, but the delegate has the sole vote. We will be having both caucuses and executive sessions, which I'll get into here in a second. And when we get into executive session in particular, confidentiality is key. What we talk about in executive session needs to stay in executive session and not be discussed once we leave that room. Okay, so at our upcoming CRC, our region is going to have to make recommendations for several society level positions. This includes president, president-elect, treasurer, several vice presidents, and directors at large. Don't worry about the individual candidates' willingness to serve if elected in these positions, because ASHRAE staff will reach out to each of them to confirm that they are willing to serve if elected. From the proposed list of all the nominees that come out of all the 15 CRCs, a complete slate of all the candidates will be given to the members of the nominating committee to discuss at what's known as the fall nominating meeting and ultimately select as the nominees at the winter meeting. So of the 3 positions on the screen, Chuck Gullich will be the president for the upcoming ASHRAE Society year, Mick Schwedler will be the president-elect, and Farouk Mahbub will be the treasurer. Each of these is a 1-year term, and theoretically Mick and Farouk will move from president-elect and treasurer up to president and president-elect respectively the year following, but that is something that we will discuss at our upcoming CRC. Each of these positions does have certain criteria to move up into one of these roles, as they must have been a prior director or vice president, and there is extensive travel requirements for each of these positions. Okay, so the next positions that we'll be discussing at CRC are going to be the vice president roles in society. There are 4 total positions. Technically, they are a 1-year term, but they are eligible to serve in the second term if re-elected. So Bill Dean and Bill McQuaid are both going to be rolling off as vice presidents this year. Tim McGinn and Don Brandt are both serving in their first year in this position and will be able and eligible to be re-elected to that position the following year, but we will need to find 2 more individuals to serve in this role moving forward. The final society level positions that we'll be discussing at CRC are the directors at large. There are 9 total DAL positions. It's important to note that these are a 3-year term, and so there are 3 individuals rolling off every year. So we'll need to try to come up with a list of potential candidates from our region or society-wide for these positions. Now, it's important to note that these are typically prior voting members or chairs of standing society level committees. So basically from the technical side of ASHRAE. Okay, so after we finish with society level positions, we do talk about regional positions and regional leadership moving forward. So Devin Avalon is our newly elected director and regional chair. This came out of the last CRC, and so Devin will be starting his term July 1st for a 3-year term. Buzz Wright is our new RMCR. and that is also a 3-year term. Now, there are 3 positions that Devin appoints directly, and that would be the Treasurer, Historian, and EEC Chair for our region. And those for the next year will be Kevin Baldwin, Dean Borges, and Corinne LeBlanc. The next position we'll be talking about at our upcoming CRC are the Regional Vice Chair or RVC positions. So we have 3 positions that are actually finishing out their current terms in the next society year. So Kevin Blankenmeyer will be rolling off as CTTC Chair. Meg Gates will be rolling off as MP Chair, and Heather Shoplin will be rolling off as RP Chair. So during our next CRC upcoming, we're going to need to find multiple candidates to fill these positions for the next society year. Generally, we look for as many as 3 candidates for each position in case anybody is unwilling or unable to serve. Now, the remainder of our RVC positions, our GAC chair is still filled by Colin Lazier-Poole, and he has 1 more year remaining on his term. Elise and Kelly were just newly elected to the YEA and SA chairs, but in all of these positions, we still generally every year look for backup candidates in the event that they are unwilling or unable to finish out their terms. The final regional positions that we'll be talking about at CRC are the nominating members and nominating committee itself. So myself, Robert Kunkel, I'm your nominating chair this year. I've held this position for, this is my first year, and I've been the alternate 2 years, reserve 1 additional year. Meritess Escalade is your first year nominating alternate, and Cindy Moreno is your first year nominating reserve alternate. Now, as I mentioned, these are selected at each and every CRC. These are all a 1-year term, and there's a maximum service of 4 years in the chair position and 4 years in the alternate position. Technically speaking, the reserve role does not count towards official years of service. And if any of these candidates is nominated for another role, they must ultimately step down from nominating. Now, one of the questions I get asked a lot is the nominating reserve alternate, why do we need a backup to a backup? Well, I can speak from personal experience in this, that I was actually the reserve for 3 consecutive years, and 2 of those years I actually moved into the alternate position during that year. Okay, so switching gears for a second, we're going to talk about standing committees. So standing committees give members the opportunity to serve at the society level in a different capacity, either on the technical side or one of the various other standing committees. So for a full list of these, please go to the ASHRAE website, but during CRC there's going to be time to nominate others or self-nominate yourself for one of these society committees. Now, technically speaking, you could nominate online at any time. However, the nominees that come out of the CRC do hold extra weight since they're in a regional capacity. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about during CRC and the nominating committee is honors and awards. Now, honors and awards can be self-nominated or nominated for others, but the most popular ones that we see are the Chapter Service Award and the Regional Award of Merit. Both of these are point tally forms that you can find on the ASHRAE website and must be submitted with a bio that is up to date for each member. Generally, these are submitted by the member's home chapter, and they are given out if approved at the following CRC. Now, for individuals, make sure you are updating your bios by going to your login screen, going to My Profile, and ensuring that your participation is correct. And the same thing to print bios for others. You need to sign in, go to Communities, go to Chapter Reports, select the member in question, and click Print Bio. Okay, so what are the next steps between now and CRC? Well, start thinking about or talking to qualified people in your chapter and your region. Are they interested, willing, and able to serve in a new role moving forward? If you are a member of a society level committee, do you know qualified people there that maybe should have their names put forward for other committees or possibly DAL or VP type roles? Are you yourself interested in a new role? If you are, please reach out to the nominating committee, myself, Meritess, or Cindy. With any of these, please make sure that candidates are updating their ASHRAE bio. I can't stress this enough. Make sure that their address, their living information is correct. Make sure that their committee responsibilities, different roles that they've served on are all up to date. And please make sure that they are a capital M member, not an affiliate, not an associate, not a student member, a capital M member. Many of these roles require that you're a full member of ASHRAE. So in or around mid-June, Society is going to send out the official CRC worksheet that we'll be working off of. You can see a copy of last year's over on the right. So obviously we have a lot to talk about during CRC. So in an effort to maximize the time that we have available, we may look to have 1 to 2 informal web-based meetings to maybe start brainstorming possible candidates, questions you might have, confirming willingness to serve, and so on. So with that, I would say thank you, and I look forward to seeing you all at the upcoming CRC. Thank you for your time.